the book says about the card. I also have here, in addition to the small booklet that came with the tarot deck, I have one of the many reference books on tarot right here. This one happens to be Jung and Tarot by Sally Nichols, and we'll be able to read a little bit more about that particular card. Okay, now, so that's basically the idea, and this is what I would suggest that you do. But I'll go through it, and then we'll review what I did and talk about how you can do something like this yourself as a way of getting acquainted with the major cards in the deck. You could do it with all of the deck, of course, but most significantly the 22 major cards, the real powerful archetypal cards. It'd be very good to do that. Then you'll have a foundation for drawing on your own intuition. I'm going to do an additional thing as well, something that I think is important as part of the practice, and that is when I actually see the card, and before I read about its meaning, of course I'll have my own memory divination to guide me to some extent, but I'm going to study the card for a moment and close my eyes and allow the images that remain in my mind from the card to move and animate and make a little movie, which I'll describe for you. And I'll use that movie as a way of reflecting my understanding of what I see going on in the card. This is be an exercise that helps me digest the information in the card and also prepare me in some way for understanding perhaps the dynamics in the imagery. Okay, so we're going to go first, and I'm going to shuffle these cards, and each day, or however often you want to do it, I'd suggest while you're studying the tarot, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, you pick a card for that day or for that 24-hour period or whatever. So I'm going to pick a card. I'm not going to look at it. And now I'm going to very quickly make this attunement that you've already practiced. And it's hard for me to talk while I'm tuning into my breath, but I'm going to let the breath go out and then come in of its own while I enter into the flow state. The flow state helps me not only get into the flow of the universe, part of the natural harmony, but it'll also allow my memories to flow easily without me making any effort. And then I can feel the wonderful relaxation and sense of confidence that brings. Allow myself to feel gratitude for my breath, coming from a place of abundance now. It's very consistent with the belief, the worldview, that everything I need I have within me, coming to me now. That my heart begins to open up in gratitude. And just reach out with my heart, as it were, and make a connection with that card. I don't know what the card is, but I just take it into my heart and love it. This is making a connection with it. So what is outside and inside become as one. And then I just ask, in the intuitive heart discovery method, as a memory divination, that a memory will pop out into my mind that will provide me with a lesson that will be useful in understanding this card that I've selected. So, I see. Remembering a time now, I'm out on the field in junior high, and there was a girl who was elected to be the Valentine's Queen. This was in 8th grade. And she had many suitors, many boys chasing after her. Obviously, she was very popular, and that's why she was nominated Valentine's Queen. But she didn't want to reveal her hand too much and pick one of the guys to be her king, so she left it open to a lottery. And as a lark, I put my name into the hat. I mean, I kind of knew her, but we weren't close or anything. I certainly wasn't one of her suitors. But I put my name into the hat. And the time of the drawing, I was out playing marbles in the field with the other kids. And I can remember we're there playing, and I see this girl walking toward us. Not the girl who was the Valentine Queen, but this other girl. And I knew somehow that my name had been picked. And sure enough, she came over, and I was being summoned because the Valentine Queen had picked my name, and she wanted to speak with me. As it turned out, she wanted to talk about me getting in touch with her mom and so on, about what she was going to wear and so on, so that we would coordinate and make sure I was the right color. Anyway, that's the memory. I don't know why that came to mind, but let's examine it for a moment. You know, that's the picture. It's like my own personal tarot card. What's the lesson here? What do I see? Well, I see in that there's an event. Something happens. There's a surprise, and it's announced that I'm the winner. Also, this is a time when I think one of the first times that I can remember when I got kind of a glimpse into another dimension, because somehow I knew I was going to win. It didn't make sense. But when that girl walked up, I just knew, yep, I have won. I have been selected. And then she announces, you know, you've been called. You're the one. And it was like something clicked inside, and it was like a sense of recognition, of being told that you know, that your intuition is right. I don't even know if I knew that word, intuition, but somehow something inside was like, yeah, kind of a thing. And that was really, really special. The dance itself turned out to be a lark once we did our opening dance and everything. Our mom had made sure I was dressed appropriately and so on. We did the opening dance, and there wasn't. I never danced with her again the whole night. She had all her boyfriends. But the part that I remembered and what was in my image was the being called and being announced. You know, your name has been selected, and how that connected somehow with like a bells ringing or something that. You're right. Some inner thing has been validated in some way. So that was a major kind of experience. Okay, so let's turn over the card, and it is Judgment. Here, I'll let you take a look at it. Judgment. It's card 20, Roman numeral XX20. And what it has on the card is a horn. Someone's playing a horn. I see that. And the sun shining behind a cloud. And that's very much like that feeling, you know. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Someone is announcing, proclaiming, the sense of dawning awareness coming out from behind the clouds. There's flowers blooming. Something has been declared. Somehow I've been declared as the king. I've been declared the winner. The inner feeling has been made correct. Now I'm going to look at the card. I'll say what I'm seeing here, what I'm committing it to memory. Here I see a person with long hair and a robe. It looks like a feathered robe of some sort, and they have a long trumpet with a flag and a cross on it. In the background is a cloud with the sun rays coming above it like it's a sunrise. There's some yellow leaves out of which some purple flowers are blossoming. and there's a mountain in the background. Looks like it's a black